Good afternoon. Hello, y'all. July is nearly at a close. We are near the end of July, so I want to work a little bit on my sweet treats. A lot of them are still a little ways off from being done. Hey, bud. A lot of them are still a ways off from being done, but that's all right. We're going to keep rolling. It's all good. So this one is the Grape Snowball. Gonna brush the loose off. I made the squiggles on the cup and I matched the squiggles on the platform because it was cute. So I'm brushing off all the loose glitter. She's a cutie pie. So now all she needs is to be trimmed, and I actually found, do you need something, sweetheart? Yes, you can have that. Yeah. Without fail. She needs to be trimmed, so I'm gonna do the white trim along here and here. So I've got my white trim. What is it, bud?
It's a high chew.
It's a high chew? Yeah, we should say. But thank you for clarifying. This is a mess.
I don't want viewers.
You don't want what?
I wanted the viewers.
You wanted the viewers to know? All right, guys. I love it because Fanny is taking a nap in the other room, so I know that she's not going to climb up on here. But the role of Fanny, I guess, will be played by Maddie, wanting to let you guys know what he's up to. All right, buddy, that's enough. Entertain yourself, sweetheart.
I wonder if Fanny likes playing that role.
Oh yeah? Okay.
Why?
So yeah, I'm gonna trim this with my hot glue gun, and I've got some feathers to put on her. I want to put a little bit of feathers on the front. I think I like that. I have some light purple, but I think I want this stronger purple. I'm going to cut it a little shorter. But yeah, I think I like the kind of intense purple. And then I was playing around with stuff at the glitter store, and I found this one that I was doing. She's going to be a creamsicle snowball. And so I figured, since I have a class coming up where I'm going to teach people to do the suspension, the syrup, I might as well do some, refresh my own skills and go ahead and do that. So she's not part of the marathon, so I haven't really been showing her, but I have been tinkering with her a little bit. It's good to finish up. Who knows how long she's been sitting waiting for me to finish her up? Quite a while. So let me go ahead and trim this girly, and then I'll show y'all how I take it back. What we're gonna do on her, so this is one of the champagne bottles, the mini little like plastic bottles that we carry at the glitter store. We carry this size and we carry even littler. Both work fine. I had a big one and I figured that was fine to use for this. I glued her to a piping tip, and then I glued the wire inside. I will try and show, I have some more suspensions that I'm gonna do so I can show you guys what it looks like. I had her kind of started and just made her purple. So she's going to, this is the heavy duty wire. Could you close the door for me, sweetie pie?
Yes.
Thank you, my angel. I love you. I can't believe summer break is almost over. Hey, you. I can't believe that, like, they're going to be back to school soon. Ugh. It flew by. The summer flew by. All right, and then I'm going to poke a hole like that. And I'm going to angle it a little because I love that. But that's how that's going to sit. That's a little high. Yeah. Cute. I wonder if maybe I should put it in a different spot. Do I like it? Or I could put it pouring in the front. That'd be cute. And then I don't put any feathers on here, maybe. Maybe that's what we do. Sometimes the cotton wire, the cotton wrapping comes a little loose. Do we want to do that? She's pretty like that. That's pretty cute. We'll do that. All right, this is a tool called an awl, A-W-L. This is pretty intense. I don't necessarily recommend using this because you could stab yourself pretty good with that. Let me trim it first. I want to give her one more coat of, this is Jello Shot on there. I want to give her one more coat of Jello Shot, and then while she's drying, I'll trim the shoe. And by then she'll be ready to kind of put in place But I have another suspension and I'll show you how it works. And of course, if you come to the workshop, you can get hands-on training in suspension. The suspension is optional. You don't need to do a suspension, but it's cute to do one. Yeah, I think it's already so tall that if I put it up here, it's really tall. But if I put it down here, it kind of artistically looks like it's all like it's putting the syrup on the shoe, which I like. So you got options. Always there are options when we're making art. Okay. I'm trying to be careful to get the glitter right up to the end of the bottle, but not on the tip of the, so yeah, this is a piping tip. I got a set of them because I wanted some special, you know, some special effect ones to make my leaves and stuff. All right, where's my Jell-O shot? I definitely had it recently, which means it's just underneath something. Not you. Not you. Sorry, y'all. My least favorite thing to do in here. Ah, it was over here. I'm a goof. Jell-O shot is, gosh, I love her so much. She's an extra fine, so she has a lot of extra sparkle. Sparkle, sparkle. Back into the jar you go. All right, so we're gonna let that dry. I'm gonna put it in there and let it dry. And while it's drying, I am going to put the trim on her. So you see you got options. She's gonna have the syrup bottle here. She, of course, did not get a syrup bottle, and she's basically done, except all she needs is for me to write muses on her, and I'm gonna put an M tile here because I think it's pretty. So all she needs to be done is some transfers, but I'm not going to do those right now. I am also, I promised I would show y'all this, but I need to find the, I found another dowel in here and I was like, oh good, I can show them what it looks like when I use the dowel. But then I put it someplace silly. Oh well, I like to put a wooden dowel in these to make them strong, but I have misplaced my wooden dowel at the present time, so I'll have to wait on that. But she's basically done. Basically all she needs is M, and I'm gonna write Muses 2027 on both sides, probably in maybe blue to pick up the kind of, maybe I'll do that. But she's basically done. But so these two, she's about to get trimmed and get her suspension. So you can put the suspension up top, kind of coming out. You can put the suspension in the front. You can do no suspension. You got plenty of options available to you when you are making art. So I'm going to put her in a temporary bag so that she's safe until I'm ready to finish her, because I don't have what I need to finish her. I got to make those transfers. I got to make a couple transfers. Maybe we'll have a session where we make some transfers. But she is, for all intents and purposes, done. So let me trim her sibling here. So I like the white trim. It's simple, but it kind of works with everything. Pretty, pretty, pretty. And I was planning to put some feathers on here, but I think since I'm doing the suspension, I won't, because it'd be weird to have the syrup pouring into feathers. I mean, I know it's all artistic, so it doesn't really matter if it's naturalistic and real, but I think that would be a little strange. So I don't think I'm going to do that. But I'm glad that part of me was like, oh, I don't need to do that another coat because it's going to be covered up by feathers. And now it's not. So I'm glad I was a little bit nuts on this occasion. Pretty, clean, white lip. I like it. And I think this design is so super cute. It's like I love using the little platform. One of my favorite shoes ever was I did a bead tree in the back of the shoe, like in the top part where the where your heel goes. And then in the because it was a platform, I had the bead tree, but then the platform was like little hands reaching up, and like they had signs that say like shoe please, and it was really cute. I liked it a lot. I liked that one a great deal. Okay, so we're going to, let me think about the geometry of this. I'm going to go across, down, and around. So I need to do the platform in 2 steps. We're good. We got it. I just needed to think about it for a minute. My life is that meme where it's like, I'm going to figure it out. I just need to have a panic attack first. Ooh. Beautiful. Beautiful. Okay. The white doesn't really show on the white, but it does kind of make that edge nice and crisp. This is a really cute snowball. I'm really pleased. I'm really pleased with how all my shoes have been shaping up for July. I know they're a little bit more complicated than some of the things I've been doing, but sometimes you gotta stretch your wings a little, you know? Sometimes you gotta do the stuff that takes a little more time and energy because it feels good to make something more complicated. Why am I using these scissors? All right, let's get the big boy scissors out. Okay. And sometimes I put trim along the bottom of the cup. I might do that. I might do that. It's a little extra, but you know, sometimes it's worth it to be a little extra. All right, you are gonna go down there. Okay, and across. I kind of like to put a little trim over the spot where the shoe emerges from the cup because I think it just looks cleaner. I just love a clean trimmed edge. I just love it when every little edge is nice and sharp. And I absolutely see muses who their glitter work is so clean that they don't need to trim every edge. God bless. That has, even when I'm being really careful, I can't get an edge as sharp as I want. So I just stick to the trimming. Sometimes though, I see some people do these shoes and I'm like, whoo, you are a machine. And I mean that as a compliment. Like the edges are so clean. It's like, oh my God, like a robot did that. Good for you. Different people have different talents. Some people do very, very precise glitter, you know, technique. Some people it's a little more kind of loosey-goosey. I love that they're all different. I love that. That's really pretty. For being like kind of a humble treat, for being a snowball in a disposable cup, this is a beautiful shoe. Not to like toot my own horn or nothing, but I'm really happy with how it came out. The disposable cup thing, the squiggle, that's nice because like it's supposed to look kind of squiggled on. So if you didn't have, that's a great that's a great choice if you want to put something fun on there and recognizable, but also your hands aren't like the steadiest. There are plenty of logos that I cannot make, but I can make it look like a, not make freehand. I could make most things as a transfer. Whew. I put a dot of hot glue on the back of my trim so that I can cut it and have a clean edge right where I join it. Clean enough. Isn't she lovely? Isn't she trimmed all pretty and tidy and lovely? I am going to put the trim on the bottom of the cup. Nice. Make sure your paper is clean before you start doing this, because if you have a little dollop of glue and you rest your shoe in it while you're trimming, that little dollop of glue is going to find its way onto your otherwise lovely shoe, and then you got touch-ups to deal with. Or not, you know, you do you. But if you use clean paper, it'll help. Really cute. Oh, really cute. I'm very pleased. I'm very pleased. All right. So I'm not going to write muses on the cup, obviously. I'm not going to write muses on the cup, so I got to figure out where I'm going to write muses, but I don't need to figure that out quite yet. But I am going to, all right. She's nice and trimmed, looking cute. The bottle's still wet, but I'm not going to touch the bottle. All right, I'm gonna put it right there. She's heavy, so I gotta pick the right spot. Okay, I'm going to take my awl. I'm going to give it to my awl. All right, with the awl, and being so careful, because if I stab my fingers, our work day is done prematurely. And also we have other issues. It is a leather working tool, an awl. But you can also just use scissors. You just want to go slow. So if you were going to use scissors, you would kind of carefully, kind of almost drill with the scissors. That's how I would do it if I weren't using my awl. All right. Poked all the way through with my awl. And it took a little bit of elbow grease to push it through because, as we all know, this was reinforced with plastic Mardi Gras cup. So it's shoe and Mardi Gras cup that it's got to go through. It's got to go through some things. Okay. Cute. I'm going to also, since it's abstract, okay, make a little bit of a divot in the shoe itself. All right, I know this is a little tough to follow. All right, there we go, there we go. In she, thread the needle, in she goes. Nice and strong. So cute. So cute. And with my hot glue gun now, I'm going to make very gentle ripples of liquid. Oh, let's not go slip sliding around. Let's stay put. I probably started moving her too early, so that's on me. I'm gonna let that glue firm up. I'm gonna let that glue firm up a little bit. I put the pieces of glue, the dots of glue to hold her, and then I started swinging her around before it was cured. So that was my fault. That was not her fault. We will not disparage her because I was impatient. All right. Very cute though. A little more glue here. It's funny, you get very spoiled because hot glue does firm up quickly compared to like white glue or like liquid fusion, which I'm obsessed with, or even E6000 or Gem Tack or whatever. But I sometimes get it in my head that because hot glue firms up fast, it firms up immediately. And the difference between fast and immediately is, it is a difference. It is a difference. All right. I'm letting the hot glue hold it. When you make a suspension, the hot glue kind of has two jobs to do. It both creates the texture of the liquid. Let me grab my other girl and show you. It creates the texture of the liquid, and it has to do structural work. And you kind of got to let it do both. So you can maybe see that the hot glue is making the liquid, but it's also reinforcing. Suspensions are a little tricky. If you've never done one before, it is not a bad idea at all to come to a workshop where that's included, because it's just a little bit easier with a little bit of assistance. Looking good. I have seen people dry hot glue faster with compressed air, which I do use. I use the compressed air to like blast extra stuff off, but I don't really want to try. I don't know. I can't tell if it's working, but I'm also not really doing it because I'm nervous. Yeah, I don't think that's doing anything because I'm not actually doing it because it makes me nervous. So, you know, I'm not sure what we learned there, except that I'm a fwady cat. Okay, gonna set her aside for a little bit while that glue gets nice and hardened up. So the other girl I'm working on, she's up here, is our rainbow snowball. So I went ahead and came back in here and did her final coat of purple. It is Purple Prince with 1 millimeter Power Purple confetti in there. So yeah, the 1 millimeter, and I sprinkled it in, confetti technique style, and that's her situation. And it's really very, very pretty. Okay. All right, are we nice and dry? Brushing off the loose. I see a spot I might need to touch up, but we'll do some trim before we decide if the touching up needs to occur. This can go into my especial jar. How would you feel about being scooched over just a little bit? Would you be amenable to that? Let me put you right there, and I can continue to add some hot glue a little at a time. Yeah, the patience is the hard part of a suspension. I mean, there are a couple of hard parts, but being patient while it firms up. So every once in a while, I'm going to add a little hot glue to that, and I'll keep you guys kind of as posted as I can on that. Okay. So she is beautiful. I love this color scheme. I love the blue and the purple. I'm obviously obsessed with the rainbow and how it matches on the top and the bottom. Super fab. So she gets a good brushing before we do anything else sassy with her. Okay, so I have got this trim, and I love it very, very much, but it is very high drama. It's very intense trim. We sell this at Craft Culture, and you can't use it for everything because it's rainbow and gold and blue. It's got a lot going on, but I do believe this is one of the occasions when I can get away with using it. So I'm not going to trim every edge with this. I'm going to trim some of the edges with this and then probably come in with like a thin, thin purple gimp. But I think if I play my cards correctly, this is going to look amazing. Yes, yes, yes. You need like a lot of trims in your arsenal. You know, some of them got to be a little simple because you don't want to overwhelm the shoe. But then sometimes you got to break out the fun fancy stuff and rock that out. And I love this rainbow scalloped edge trim. And I think it just celebrates the rainbow of the Snoball. You know, it just really, the colors kind of match, and I feel really good about that. All right. So I've done the top edge here. Oh, maybe I'll do gold for the corresponding so that it kind of, we'll try a couple things. All right, trimmed up there, beauty, beauty. And let me trim down here. I'm gonna have to follow the curve, but it's gonna be cute. It's gonna be cute. We love. Yes. Definitely hugging the curve real nice. Yes, yes, yes. Beauty, beauty, beauty. Finishing is so much fun. We need another stick or a roll if you are balling like that. Okay. Beautiful. Beautiful. All right. And that. Okay, she's rocking and rolling, and I love her so very much. Okay. Rainbow, rainbow. Jazzy girl. All right, so I've got some gold trim. Let me see how I like the gold. The gold is nice. We like the gold, and I've got purple trim. Let's see how we feel about the purple. The purple is subtle. I think, though, subtle is probably a good choice because she's so razzle-dazzle. So we're going to go with the purple. Do I want to put a little rainbow on the bottom of the cup too? Why the hell not? Why not? Why not go? Yes. Yes! What an ornate cup. And as I suspected, the spot I was looking at on the bottom that I need to touch up, I now do not need to touch up. All right. Okay. Double win, because it's beautiful and it's less work. Okay. Okay, gorgeous. Okay, pretty mama. All right. Do I want to try to? No. We're going to do purple for the rest. We managed to fit a lot of beautifulness on this, but now let's trim the edges. I was gluing it and I got a little hot glue on top of the trim, and that's not a big deal, but it does kind of make like a spot. I'll show you guys. And the heat gun will buff that out, but since I just started and it's like an inch of trim, can y'all see that? I just didn't want that on my final beauty. She deserves better. She deserves to be lovely. I'm enjoying these snowballs a lot. I only really did 3 for the marathon, but then I also have that extra creamsicle one that I found, and the extra, this one, the rainbow one. Isn't she cute? Isn't she chic? She's gonna get a bunch of little bottles, and I'll show y'all what the bottles look like. A bunch of little syrup bottles. Okay, so we need to do the top edge of the platform. We need to trim the top edge, just the top edge, and then we'll do the whole thing. As always, you know, it's like measure twice, what is it? Measure twice, cut once. Like, think about it at least once. That's the objective. That's the goal. That's what I'm going for. If I think about it at least once. Scalding hot take. If I plan a little bit, it comes out better. Oh, y'all. Okay. Okay. I know I get a little goofy, but God, it makes me so happy. The finishing, when they really come together and like all your work starts to turn into a finished piece, man, that's just, it's a great feeling. Everyone's got different things that like, you know, one person's yuck is another person's yum. Some people really enjoy the glittering and not so much the trimming. I really enjoy both in different ways. Glittering is kind of zen and I sort of vibe out, but finishing, kind of when it turns into the finished shoe, that is exciting for me. All right, let's see if we can loop her around. I bet we can. I bet you we can. All right, so I've done the purple edge. I know it's hard to see because it's purple on purple, but I went for subtlety in this case. So purple, purple, and now we're gonna go around the bottom, and she's gonna be clean as a whistle. So fresh, so clean. Beautiful. And this was one where the cup went on kind of bumpy, and I was like, uh-oh, that's no good. Now that it's all trimmed over, you can't even really tell. So sometimes it bothers you. Sometimes you gotta just sit with the bother, you know? Sometimes rather than like try to force it to be what you're envisioning right away, you gotta kind of sit with it a little bit. I struggle with that, so do not feel bad if you struggle with that. Or I guess you can. I say that like, you know, if I struggle with it, you shouldn't feel bad that you struggle with it, but I know that's not how brains work. Brains can be like, I don't care if other people struggle with this. I am uniquely terrible because I can't do it. That thing of like, everyone should give themselves grace and be kind with themselves and take rests when they need it. And, you know, it's important to be gentle with yourself. Yeah, but not me though. Not me. I feel that way about my friends, but not about me. So be nice to yourself, I guess is what I'm saying. What I tell my kids sometimes is if we wouldn't say it to another kid or about another kid, we don't say it about ourselves. So we're not allowed to go, oh man, I'm so dumb, because we would never call another kid dumb. Never. So if you wouldn't say it about another kid, you don't get to say it about yourself. The fact that it's yourself, you are not off the hook for insulting yourself just because it's you. You need to love you too. Pretty, pretty. Such a pretty girl. Almost done trimming. And then I'm going to make another suspension. Because I know she's already so dramatic, but in for a penny, in for a pound. Let's make her megawatt superstar. Oh, I love the way this platform looks and the rainbow alcohol ink. I'm doing a class in this where we make alcohol ink rainbow snowballs, and you can use the alcohol ink to make all one color snowballs. So if you're like really wanting to make just a yellow snowball, you totally can, and it's still a worthwhile exercise. I just think the rainbow is so cha-cha. And I want you guys to come experience maximum cha-cha. Those of you who are in town, I realize sometimes I talk about classes and my out-of-town glitter people are a little sad, but this is why I do videos. So no matter where you are, you can be part of the glittering experience and learn things and, you know, be in community. It's important to be in community. All right, she is all trimmed out, clean and lovely. Now what I'm gonna do. So these are the little bottles. So I have some of these. What I have done here is glued on the screw top of a Scribbles bottle. So I lose my screw tops almost immediately, so I don't really have a ton of them to show you guys. Let me see something. Let me see. Here we go. Here we go. So this, when you're done with it, I'm not done with this one, but when you're done with it, this is a pretty good size. It's not perfect. You definitely want to get a little glue in there. I'm not going to do it now, but a little hot glue and screw that on. And then when you glitter it red, it really looks like a little snowball syrup. That to me is one of the best ways to get like little snowball syrups. So I'm going to put her cap back on, even though I'm a little bit naughty about that sometimes. I'm going to be good. All right. So this one is already been glittered yellow, and already her red cap has been glittered. She is not going to be suspension. She's going to be, what I'm going to do with her is have a couple of bottles sitting on, you know, sitting around. Like, and I think that's going to be super cute. I haven't come even close to finishing the bottles, but she's just going to have some bottles of syrup. That's going to make her kind of a little jazzier. So very excited about that. And I'm trying to decide where all I want the bottles. I think I really do just want them kind of hanging out with her down here. Just kind of almost like filling it in, almost like making a wedge. Like the space, you know what I mean? It's kind of turning her into a wedge. I said the same thing twice. So what I'm thinking I'm going to do is like I'm going to turn her into a wedge. Three's the charm. But yeah, I think that's going to be really cute when it's like a couple little bottles with there. And I'll make the little labels. I haven't decided yet if I want those to be transfers or if I want them to be paper. If I can get the transfers to look kind of handwritten enough, I will probably do that, and then I'll put the little labels on them. And I'll probably have to put the labels on the dreamsicle and the grape. I'll probably put the little paper labels. Speaking of, oh, see now she's holding. I gave her some patience and now she's not swiveling. Let that be a lesson to you. Lord knows I never learn to be patient. I do. I'm getting better. I'm going to be nice to myself. I wouldn't call another person impatient, so I'm not going to call myself impatient. Okay, beautiful. Okie doke. So this one is going to get some little bottles, not suspended, just chilling with her. Basically, I'm going to make her into a wedge. Sorry, y'all. I cracked myself up. So I want them to be the same colors as this. So I'm going to do the neon yellow, which is electric banana. This is pink flamingo, EAUX flamingo. This is going to be cold enough for pants to go with the blue. And then I think my fourth one is probably going to be the green. I think I'm going to use the same lime green that I used on my, yeah, I think that'll work. So I need to get some more little bottles, and I need to go through my stash and find Scribbles bottles where I'm done with the bottle, but keeping the empty bottle and the lid, which unfortunately for me won't be that hard to do. Unfortunately slash fortunately. The good news is I will absolutely have plenty of those. The bad news is, what am I doing keeping all of those? Isn't she fun? Okay. Okay, so what I'm gonna do for her, I think I want to put, you know, a little pink bottle over here, or other way. I want to put a little pink bottle over here, a little blue bottle over here, and then I want the yellow pouring, suspended. I'm so excited about that. I tried to do peace signs and rock on, and I did this, which is not a thing. I guess that's like, I am not a crook. I guess I briefly Richard Nixoned because I was excited. In a moment of excitement, I'm doing that. Okay. Cute. But what I have done here is I have taken one of these and I have drilled a hole through the top of the cap. So normally the cap is not drilled, obviously, because if it had a hole in it, it wouldn't do its job, which is preventing the paint from drying out. So, where's my sweet girl? Okay. So normally the wire won't go through. But I have drilled a hole in this one, so the wire will go through. And you can get away with not doing that, but if you drill a hole and poke the wire through further, you just get a lot more strength. Okay, so big dollop of hot glue, and in she goes. Is that hole big enough to fit? I can't tell if the hole is big enough to fit 2 wires in. Nope, not really, but that's fine. So twisted those 2 together to make it strong, or stronger. We're going to add a little more to that. So she still needs to be fully glittered, but I wanted to show you guys kind of what it looks like to make the suspension, because the other one I kind of had already done, and I would like you guys to sort of feel empowered. I would like you guys to feel like I'm covering what you need to make your stuff. So I'm wrapping more wire to make it strong. And I'm gonna just, with my pliers, kind of clip that in. This is a little tricky because the shape of the tip is so narrow. You can only really fit one wire, and then you kind of have to wrap the others around. Let's see. A little bit of hot glue. Okay. Wrapping the wires makes them strong, but because they're so thin, it's a little easier to work with. So you can do the thick wire. That stuff is awesome, but sometimes you want to kind of sculpt it out of thinner wire. Okay, nice. So I'm realizing I put electric banana on this, but this actually is closer to they all asked for yellow, which I just ran out of. So I'm gonna have to get some more of that, but that's all good. All right, let me clamp these together a little so that it's thinner. And then I think I'm gonna angle it slightly. I think it's gonna be coming in right there. All right. I'm not going to put it in today because it still needs a lot of glitter, but I'm going to show you guys what it will look like when I do put it in. So we're going to cheat it slightly to the front. We're going to trim our wire a little shorter. Boop-a-doop. Boop. And then I'm going to take this all, cheat it a little. And so when it's done, it will go right there. Maybe slightly lower. Part of the difficulty is it's more dramatic if it's high up, but it starts to look a little wacky. So possibly more like there. I think that's probably about where we are gonna land. But I need to glitter this. I need to put the red on the cap and I need to finish. So when she's done, she's gonna be like, isn't that cute? She's wobbly because I haven't made her strong yet, but isn't that gonna be cute? When she has all of her cute little syrups in everything in their places. They'll have the lids on them. She'll be pouring that last yellow and finishing the rainbow. It'll be just the perfect little moment. And then we got to figure out where we're going to write muses on her. Probably purple on the cup or maybe rainbow on the cup. That's too much. That's so extra. Maybe rainbow on the cup. We'll see. But that's kind of where she is at the moment. And I couldn't be more pleased. I'm pleased as punch. So this is nice and strong now. We'll glitter it up and then we'll put it all together when it's all glittered. I'll maybe make some transfers. I do think that writing Muses 2027 in rainbow, kind of following roughly this pattern, I think that would be really cute. But she's gonna be really adorable. Really, really nice. Very pleased with that. So, you know, you can do the suspension up here. Give her a break, she's not quite done baking. Or you can do the suspension down here. Or you can do no suspension whatsoever. Or you can do her and she's gonna have the bottles, but the bottles aren't even going to be suspended. They're just gonna be chilling on the counter next to the Snowball. There we go. Okay. Fabulous session so far. Feeling very good. She still needs some stuff done to her, but I'll kind of keep you posted on her as well. And she was, I will tell y'all, she was Crystal Cave with, I mixed the yellow and orange alcohol inks together to make that kind of creamsicle color. Alrighty. You can go there. You are, I think, done for the moment. I need to work on your bottle a little bit. So I'm going to put a pin in that. Just carefully putting some hot glue over the twisties so it doesn't look like twisted metal so much as syrup pouring out of the bottle. But yeah, you can make suspensions out of like anything that you can hold up with the wire. So you can't put like a big heavy glass wine bottle, but you can put a little plastic bottle. You can save some cute mini stuff. I sometimes get a little carried away. It's very hard to throw away bottles if you're somebody who likes to do suspensions, which I am. I love to do suspensions. But yeah, I get a little carried away and I always save all my little bottles because you just never know. So like if I've got a little travel size shampoo, I'm gonna save that bottle. Of course. It might be exactly the thing I need for something goofy. But we love nothing better than something goofy. Okay. So that looks awesome. Very pleased with that. I'm gonna work on that, but not right this minute. You are looking good. So that is nice and strong. I'm gonna put some hot glue inside. So it looks like it's pouring through the shoe, like the shoe is the ice. I guess that makes sense. That makes sense. That's fine. We like it. We like it like that. And then I'm trying to decide if I want to, I'm trying to decide if I want to do this Jello shot or if I want to use a slightly different one so it's a little more visually interesting. I know that if the bottle is full of Jello shot, it should be coming out like that, but I'm kind of thinking of using this like slightly pinker so that it looks like as it's pouring, you know, like the ocean is blue, but a glass of water isn't blue. I'm not a physicist, but I feel like that works. That's a really good suspension though. You guys see it? Really looks like it's pouring. The wire is nice and strong. It's still got a little bounce in it, but that's gonna happen. You could make that suspension really thick and have absolutely none of that, but that would be a little strange. Okay. The tricky part now is letting it dry inside so that I can get that too. Yeah, I think I'm gonna use this slightly pinker just so it's a little more visually dynamic. And then I'll make the label to go on here. I'll make an M, probably an M tile. I don't know. I need to figure out on all my Snowball shoes. I'm like, they're amazing. I did it again. I did the double peace signs again. I don't know why that's the thing I'm doing. I'm trying to like do this, but also I don't know what that is. But V for victory? Churchill maybe? Maybe we're doing a Churchill? Anyway, whatever we're doing. I keep finishing these snowballs and being like, we're done. Hooray. This is beautiful and I love it. And I need to figure out where to actually write muses on them because it's not a muses shoe until it says muses. So I gotta get it together a little bit on that. I gotta figure it out. But it'll come to me when it does. It'll come to me when it comes to me. I really wish I had the rhinestone letters, but we can't get them anymore. A victim of the tariffs. So I don't know. Oh, maybe I could use the little play letters, the little like locket ones, the little friendship bracelet letters, play letters, friendship bracelet. Not for lockets. I was getting there. Play was like something kind of youthful crafting vibes. Locket was, I knew that it was like an adolescent girl craft. Not that anyone can't make friendship bracelets, and I think you should. So I bounced around a little bit there. But the friendship bracelet letters, I know I have those. That would probably be pretty cute and would vibe with the sort of humble aesthetic that I'm going for on the Snowball. So that would be pretty cute. I will actually probably do that. I'm thinking about if I want to do it right now. I don't think I want to do it right now, but I do think I want to do it. Okay. Getting the hot glue in there. And then we will, you can, while the hot glue is hot, pour the glitter on there. This one I'm just going to glitter regular style. Okay, so she is done except waiting for the bottles. And once I place the bottles, then I'm going to figure out where I'm going to write muses on her. I will probably do rainbow transfers on her, probably. But she's close to done. I'm going to set her over there. I'm probably going to put her in a bag because it's going to be a little while before these syrups are all done. She needs a transfer on her bottle, and I need to figure out where I'm going to write muses on her. Probably do I have the, I don't have the 2026s though. Those are in a different spot. I got to dig those out. I know I have them, I just don't have them on hand. But I think what I'm going to do is put it, yeah. I am, though, going to use a wax dotting wand and my B7000, which is not here right now because I was playing with it elsewhere. But that is what I'm going to do. Right in here, I'm going to put friendship bracelet letters that say Muses 2026. And I think that's going to be super duper cute. And I will ask Tommy if he wants anything else on there. Sometimes he gets gummy bears. So if this is gummy bear day, I'm going to make it a gummy bear day. Whew. Okay. So I'm taking a little bit of Mod Podge and turning this pour. I hope y'all can see how it looks like it's pouring. All the way around, all the nooks and crannies. Cover up the wire, turn it into just one pretty pour. Oh, what time is it? Okay, we're good. We're good. Sometimes I get in the zone and lose track of time. And by sometimes, I mean most of the time. Yeah, I think it's pretty to just have it be slightly different. I think it's pretty to have it be a slightly different vibe. Okay. Grape syrup. But for the one that's inside, I actually do want that to blend a little bit more. You good, bud? Good. You're hungry? All right, I can get you a snack. Man, those summertime bellies, you know, they are never full. All right, I can take a look, bud. I don't think we have that, but I can take a look. All right, why don't you check? Big kid. I am going to use Jello Shot on the inside of this so that it kind of, I want it to blend a little bit. Like if you're really looking close, you can see that the syrup is going all the way through the shoe. But I think, okay. We don't have that. I will get you something. You can have something else. I'll get you something else in one sec. Ah! That was not great. I went to spin the lid onto it and kind of spun it right off the table. That's okay. We get excited and our hands don't know what our brains are thinking. Okay. Oh, whoops. Okay. Beautiful. So I do think she probably needs another coat of glitter on her pour, but that's really cute and I really love her. What I want to do, there are two things I really want to do. I won't say like sooner rather than later, but that are kind of on my mind, grapes. Mind grapes, because this is grape. I have some sculpting to do on the ice cream scoops. So the snowballs are basically done. We've got a little more playing around to do with the snowballs, but they are basically done. We need to make the little syrup bottles. I need to get, let me see, I'm gonna have 1, 2, 3, and then I want 1, 2, 3, 4 on the crystal girl. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I need, I'm gonna do 3 and 4. I need another 2-pack. And then I'm Jake, I think. All right. But what I'm gonna do real quick for her, just to get her started, because these just take a lot of steps. Because when you do these little bottles, you gotta like hold it by, and I've done these before, so I don't think this is like new information for y'all. You gotta hold it by the thing and do the cap and do the body of it, let that set, and then I turn it on its side and I do the bottom and I do the lip. And then I have to do it again. And also I have to do the cap separately because it's a different color and we let different colors dry when we're waiting between colors. So, you know, is that strong? Are we liking that? Checking that there's no wiggle in there. That feels good. All right, so I do want to work on that, my little syrups, but what I want to do is finish sculpting. I need to finish sculpting these ice cream scoops. Ma'am. I need to finish sculpting the scoops. Scooping the sculptural. I need to finish doing the scoops. I've got 2 of those that I want to do. And this one, I really do think I'm going to put the kind of the same texture and it's going to match. I think that's a lot. I think that's making my own life kind of difficult, but it'd be like that sometimes. This is maybe one of those times. So I do also want to, I need some air dry clay to sculpt the flames for the candles. I don't know. I need to do that. And I also want to start the bead tree fence boots because I've got those all good to go. I've got my pile of like everything I need for that. I feel good about that, but I do need to actually like, start. It was a long way to the well. I do need to actually start. So let me fold this up. I do need to actually start on those. So that's maybe not today though, because we do have a lot going on. I'll let some of these girls dry. I'll let some of these girls dry and then, okay. let me put this together. So this is what I'm saying. It kind of fits, but you do want a little bit of glue. Yeah, I'll let these girls dry, and then I can probably put, I know I can put the nectar. I have still more work to do on the, I'll put the nectar in a temporary bag. I'll put the crystal in a temporary bag. I'll put the rainbow in a temporary bag, and the grape in a temporary bag. Because all those are waiting for those 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've got 5 snowballs that are basically only waiting for syrup bottles and transfers. And those are kind of little tasks that I'll just keep going, but those are otherwise done. So I can put those in temporary bags, put them in a box, and then that clears space for me to finish my cakes and get started on the fences. And also, I promise, guys, I'm coming back to the berry baskets. I know I have said that. I know I'm the boy who cried wolf. I know you guys think I'm never going to do it, but I do want to get back to the berry baskets. So we will absolutely resume. Okay, so that was our session today. Oh, before I go, let me get this started. All right, you go down there. So I'm just taking a little brush and I'm just doing the spout. I'm just doing a little red spout on it so it looks like a snowball syrup. You do want to be careful on the edge here because it does kind of blend together, but you want it to be obvious that it's 2 things. The bottle and the, oh, and I'll need to make transfers for the, I'm going to play with that. I'm going to play with making the transfers that vibe with the labels. Little snowball. Lost the hole. There it is. All right. That's going to be very, very cute. I'm very, very excited about that. I could glue it now, but then it's going to be hard to situate, and then I'll be mad at myself that I didn't wait more patiently. But very cute. Coming along. This will be yellow. This will be yellow. Maybe she doesn't need the bottles on either side. Is that overkill if I put the bottles on the side too? I kind of want to acknowledge the, like, maybe that's overkill. Maybe she doesn't need her bottles. Maybe only the other, maybe she just needs the yellow. I kind of started the pink and the blue, but yeah, maybe, I don't know. I'm gonna think about that. She maybe doesn't need, does she? Composition is so hard, guys. Making the second one is like 10 times easier than making the first one because you've already made all the decisions. No, I do like the syrups on the side. She's going to have her syrups on the side. I'm looking at it and I'm liking it. Obviously, this one will be hot pink to match the pink, but it's all good. Okay, great session today. Thank you all for joining me. I will be back to do the sculpting. We got to sculpt those. We got to sculpt that. We got to sculpt. We got some more sculpting to do on our birthday cakes and the candles and everything. So that's coming up. And we will continue on the berries. And we will start the bead tree fences. I will show you guys that. That one's a really fun one. That one gives me a lot of joy. But that is it for today. Thank you all so much for joining me. We'll see you guys next time. Bye.